Hey TechKnowSurge, let's take a look at what hashing looks like. In this video, we're going to hash a file on a Windows machine. On a Windows machine, there's a program called CT Util. And although this program is really designed to manage certificates, one of the functions that it does is it creates a hash out of a file. So that's what we're going to do today, is we're going to use this CT Util to create a hash out of a file. Now the first step is that we need to open up a command prompt. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on the Windows button here, type in CMD, and it shows the command prompt. So I'll hit enter to bring that up. And now I have the command prompt. Next, what I'm going to do is just take a look at the options that the CT Util command has. So I'll type in CT Util, which is the program that we'll be using, and I'll do a -- to see what options we have. And if we scroll up through this, we can see that one of the options that we have in here is a hash file. So this is what we're going to use, is we're going to use the hash file here. So what I'll do is a hash file -- and I can see some commands that are associated with this. Next, let's create a document that we're going to hash. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open up Windows here, go to the C drive, and I'm just choosing the C drive because it's going to be easy to navigate to it. And I'll create a temp folder in here, and we'll get into the temp folder. And then I'm going to create a new document, and it's just going to be a text document. I'll create this text document, and we'll call this plain text doc. And I'll hit enter there. We'll open this up and say this is plain text. And I'll save this. And we'll X out of there. Now let's create a hash of this plain text doc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this command right here, CT Util, with a --hash file. And then I will give the path for the file and then the hashing algorithm. And there's several hashing algorithms that I can use here. So let's do MD5 with this. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a CT Util --hash file space, and we're going to the C drive, the temp, and the plain text doc. And so now, and then I need to specify the hashing algorithm. So we said we were going to do MD5. So we'll hit enter, and there is the hash of that file then. Now, one of the things that we said about a hash is that if we make a little change, it'll have a drastic difference. So let's see what that looks like. I'm going to bring up this document again. I'm going to open it up, and I'll delete the period at the end of it, and then save. So we just made one small change to this. So with that small change, I'll do this same. And what we see here now is that this hash right here, this fingerprint, is completely different than what it was before. So we see a very different fingerprint here. Now, another thing that we said is that this fingerprint is going to remain the same, or at least on many of these hashing algorithms, that the fingerprint size is going to stay the same. So let's take a look at what that looks like. What I'm going to do is just pull up a web browser here and type in lorem ipsum. And this is just, lorem ipsum is just random text. And so we'll take this random text here. We'll copy this out, and then let's open up our document. So we don't need this anymore. Let's open up our document here, and I'm going to put this on a separate line, and we're just going to have just all this random text here. And then we'll save this document. And once we've got that now, it's a much longer document. So let's run it at this point. We can see it has drastically changed from the fingerprint perspective, but it's still the same size. We also need that consistency. We need to come up with the same result over and over again. So let's make sure our algorithm does this. So I'm going to open up this document again. We're going to delete all this extra stuff and go back to our original document with a period at the end. I'm going to save this out, and Then we'll run this once again. And if I look at this hash and compare it to this hash, we can see that they are exactly the same. So we've got consistency as long as we have the input is the same. Just for fun, we can see what another algorithm would pop up here. So instead of doing MD5, let's do MD2 and see what comes up there. Yes, it's a very different, unique fingerprint that comes up for a different hashing algorithm. So that's hashing using the CT Util. It's a fun little utility that you can use to play around with some different hashing with your files.